All right, guys, lesson 39 today. Our objective is to draw fractions in order to compare them. Comparing fractions by drawing. There's only one example today, so we'll add a few things to our paper here. It says 1/4 of the circle is on the left side and 1/2 is on the right. So let's put that in example number 1. Remember when we divide a circle into fourths, we might use a T. Here's how I like to think about this. I got a whole pizza, and I'm going to share it with just 2 friends. I'll get half. That's a lot because I only got to share with 2 people. I got a 1/4 of a pizza, and I actually have 4 friends. And so I'm going to give them each 1 piece. And so the more friends I have, the bigger the denominator. The more big friends I have, the less I get. Okay? So if we were going to have 8 friends over for pizza, and we cut that pizza into eighths, look at, I only get 1 little sliver of that pizza. The more friends I have, the less pizza I have. Okay, so let's check this out. Example number 1, or the only example, Armando finished his math assignment in 1/3 of an hour, and Jan finished it in a half an hour. Who took longer? So let's go ahead. We got to draw exactly the same rectangles. Exactly the same. Now this one's divided in half. 2 friends. This one's divided into thirds. 3 friends. Now if you were to draw an imaginary line right through this one, which one took more time? Well, the one who took a half an hour. This was Jan, and this was Armando. Who took longer to finish? Well, Jan's is more, so she took longer. So the answer is Jan. Okay? So we can use pictures to draw it. Now, if we look down here at the bottom of the page, we're going to use a comparison symbol. 1/2 is greater than 1/3. Whoa, Mr. Bauer, time out. 3 is bigger than 2. How can you say half is bigger? Remember, if the bigger the denominator, the less candy you have. You get a big old bag of Halloween candy. I don't, because I didn't get to go trick-or-treating this year. But anyhow, if I did, I had a big old bag of candy. Now I got to divide it by 3 brothers? No way. If one of my little brothers goes to sleep, fantastic. I'll divide it with 2 brothers. So when we're talking about denominators, the smaller the denominator, the bigger the amount you get. So 1/2 is greater than 1/3. Now, it's kind of cool how they did these up here for us. 1/9, that sounds like... It's easier when it's on the board at school. Sorry, I'll keep trying. 1/9 sounds like it's pretty big, but that's a little tiny piece of pizza. 1/2 is the biggest. So the bigger the denominator, the smaller the piece. All right, let's practice. 1/2 and 2/3. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write it. 1/2 and 2/3 now. So let's draw rectangles. Let's make them exactly the same. See how I line this up right here? Exactly the same. I divide this one in half. I divide this one into thirds. And this side has 2/3. So if you have 2/3, now I know the denominator is bigger, and we said bigger, you got to divide it more, but you had 2 of them on top. So when the numerators are different, you got to look at the top too. So 2/3, you can see, is bigger than 1/2. Let's go on to B. 1/2 and 2/4. Okay, this one's kind of funny. I'm going to use circles for this one. There's a half, and there's 1/4, 2/4. Oh, brother. Did you guys notice what happened? They're both a half a circle. Even this one says 2/4. So 1/2 and 2/4 is actually equal. All right, 1/3 and 1/4 we don't have to do. We know that the smaller denominator, the less people I have, the bigger it is. So let's go ahead and make our rectangles. And divide this one into thirds. And shade a third of it. And let's take another one. And this one we're going to divide in fourths. So divide something in fourths, you divide it in half first, and then divide that in half. Now this is pretty close. But if you put your imaginary line down there, look at 1/3 is actually a little bit bigger. Can't see me in that, sorry. 1/3 is actually a little bit bigger than 1/4. 1/3 is greater than 1/4. And then the last one, you got 2/3 and 3/4. Let's get it on here. 2/3, 3/4. Make my rectangles. Divide these into thirds. Make this rectangle the same. Divide into fourths. Half first, half of a half, half a half. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. You can see that 3/4 is bigger. 2/3 is less than 3/4. Alright guys, that's our lesson for today. Take a look at some of those that come up in your assignment. Draw the picture and then compare them. Careful when you're drawing your picture. Alright guys, we'll continue to work on our fractions.